How's it, peeps, and welcome to another episode of Something Amazing. Today, we're going to be starting a series of episodes where we look at securing your PC, whether it be at home, business, work, and making sure you're not susceptible, tongue twister, to any threats or hacking, etc. And we're joined today by Mario. You may remember him from our SSD video. Say hi, Mario.
Hello.
Hello. And we're going to be looking at the free antivirus softwares that are available and how good they are actually. So let's get into it. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at antivirus software, and there's an article we found actually on Tom's Guide. It looked at the best antivirus software and apps for 2018. So, Mario, you want to tell us a bit about this?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so most people go and download free antivirus software because, well, who wants to pay for antivirus? So I decided let's take a look at them and see what the risks are and which one actually works and which one doesn't work. And yeah, so we had a look at what they chose, and I included one specifically for a buddy of mine, Lee, which has got Nod 32 in it as well. So we just went and ripped them apart and checked how they work. Yeah.
So basically, you're going to test if you can break into or bypass this antivirus to get into a system, or
Yeah. So these common tools out there that allow you to or allow hackers to get onto your system by either sending you a file or
yeah.
getting you to click on a file or getting you to install software on your machine, any one of those.
Yeah, like all
And
these spam emails that you get and
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So what I've done is I've created a little virus, which I'm gonna run on all these machines. Well, I've created 3 different viruses, which or generated, sorry, not created.
So any of your
Which
viruses makes your penis bigger or brings back a lost lover or something. You know, you get
yes,
these.
all of them, whatever you want, they will do it. You just need to click on it.
So no, this is really cool, man. Interesting. So let's get into it. What we're going to test first.
Okay, so what I've done is I've used the generic one and just generated a backdoor.
Mm.
And so the scenario that I've got now is that I've taken a memory stick, plugged it into the machine, and I'm gonna copy this virus onto your machine. Yeah. So in this scenario, we're simulating you downloading pirated software. You're going to be clicking on the pirated software, and it's going to install a backdoor on your machine, or it should install a backdoor on your machine. Now, basically, I'm using Windows 10, fully patched, and all of them have the same version of Windows. The only difference is the antivirus, which is going to be running on them. So let me just. Oh, great. Yes, let's just use the recommended setting, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. Just kill that. Okay, so this is the first machine. On this one, we used. I was testing with Nod 32.
Yeah.
Let's just check where Nod 32 is on this list. So according to Tom's hardware, Nod 32 is not worth looking at. So,
but this is one you said you did for your friend Lee, right?
Yeah, this one I did specifically.
Let's run through it quickly and see what happens.
Yeah, so I've generated a virus called My Name is Jeff.
Hey, that's really
and and I've copied it from a memory stick onto the desktop.
Yeah.
And let's see what happens. So it allows me to copy the file. But as soon as I try and do anything with the file, refresh or anything like that, it kills it.
Okay.
I then switched to, if we go a little further back. So on node 32, I copied it across,
Yeah.
and as soon as I hit refresh, it disappears. You'll see it's missing an icon as well,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that just disappears immediately. So that was node 32. Then I did the same thing on Avast. Copied the file across, and disappears.
So it's
Then
basically picking up that it's a virus file.
it's a
and
virus, yeah.
Okay.
So here's the cool one. But you'll notice on the first two videos, or the first two machines,
Yeah.
there wasn't a warning or anything. It just deleted the file.
Yes. Yes.
Then I tested it with the default, which is Microsoft Defender or Windows Defender.
Yeah.
And copied the file across, and immediately it told me, no, I'm not going to allow you to copy this file across. And then it popped up with a threat found, a threat found in the bottom right. Yeah, so that was interesting, and that's the default one which comes with Windows.
Yeah,
which was quite cool. Then I went with AVG, copied that across.
yeah.
Allowed me to copy. Strangely enough, I refreshed and it disappeared. Kaspersky, same thing, and Bitdefender, the same thing.
Bitdefender and Kaspersky, they're quite highly rated, right? They're on the top.
Yes, they are. Let's have a look at that. So if we take a look, so that's the editor's choice. And so 1 and 2 basically. And then Avast was, Windows Defender was 4th, AVG was 5th. So
Okay, cool.
Okay, so again, Bitdefender popped up with a warning message and said, no, I'm not gonna allow this.
Yeah.
But the cool part was that all of them were able to stop the very, very basic one.
Very basic. So this basic virus, you said it's just what was in the file basically?
Okay, so it was generated with software which creates a reverse shell. So as soon as you click on it, what happens is it connects to my server, which is located wherever the heck I want it to be.
Yeah.
And tries to connect back to me and gives me access to your machine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you won't see anything running in the background or anything. It just does it. Yeah. So basically what I did here is I went through all of the different machines to check which ones still had the file and which ones didn't. Hit refresh to make sure it was deleted, or which ones allowed me to execute the file. None of them allowed me to execute the file. 1 or 2 of them kept it on the desktop. I don't know why. It should have just deleted it, but it didn't. So yeah. In fact, AVG, let me just take a look at AVG quickly. Just want to see if it created a, no, they were all blocked.
They're all blocked.
Let's just double check. Yeah, that was blocked anyway. Yeah, so what I'm doing here is, if I go back a bit, so what I'm doing here is I'm running a netstat on the machine just to see what connections there are. AVG seems to make a lot of connections to their servers, either to pull down updates or to send information. I don't know. It's one of the two. But yeah, there's quite a few connections from that AVG makes.
So if you're running AVG on your system, will it be eating some of your bandwidth? Because what you're saying, it's connecting constantly.
Yeah, I'm assuming it sends a ping to the server to look for virus updates, to look for So yes, I think it's not really a decent one for gamers from what I see. Okay, so that I was able to execute the file, but it didn't do anything. So I ran it as administrator, or I ran it as a normal user, and then it picked up as a virus and said no.
Okay, so even the AVG, which was rated down on the Tomcat, still picked it up, the basic one.
Yeah, they all picked up the basic one. Yeah. And then it popped up with a pretty message to say your machine is secure. It was very cute. Yeah, but you'll see most of these blocked it immediately. Well, yeah. Okay, so that was the first video. So that was the simple one, the easiest, the basic of this.
So we're going to get into the second video now, and you created a second virus file now. So what's different from the first one?
It's purely the vendor that I used, or the method that I used to generate the file.
Yeah.
So the one I used one company, the other one I used another
Another
company.
company. So
I
we're
think
going to
that's
put
the
it through
easiest.
the same antivirus softwares and see if
Yeah,
they pick them up. Okay. And what did you
yeah.
find?
Exactly the same thing. So this was just a basic one and picked it up immediately and said, no.
Okay.
So
So,
all of them stopped it. I was happy with that. And yeah,
all right.
they did
So,
what they needed to do.
okay. So let's move on then.
Cool.
All right. So
Yeah.
for the third test, Mario, so you created another virus, and what's different with this one from others?
Okay, this one is slightly different. I made small changes to this file. I didn't go as far as encrypting the file.
Yeah.
But it was also very easy to generate. Changed one or two variables on the file, and
So
yeah, this one
this
had
is
some.
something that a lot of people can do easily if they
Yeah,
have
yeah.
basic knowledge.
Oh yeah, very much so. Yeah, this is most probably one of the easier ways of doing things.
Okay.
So yeah, your script kiddies or your wannabe hackers, these are the
Yeah.
guys that will be able to use this without any issue.
Okay. And what did you find when you put it through the
Okay,
test?
so with this one, I ran it through Not32 again,
Yeah.
fully, clearly,
Yeah.
and copied the file across, and I could see the file wasn't right. Windows wasn't accepting it, or the antivirus wasn't accepting it, and said no.
Yeah.
So that one blocked it immediately. Then I tried it on Avast, copied the file across, and something strange happened. It showed the logo, which was way different to everything else. So
Yeah.
something's working there. So I'm not happy
Yeah.
with that, but
Yeah.
we'll move on. On Defender, Windows Defender, or Microsoft Defender, it said no. I'm not happy with this file.
Yeah.
You can't copy it across.
Yeah.
Then I tried. Okay, yeah. Then I moved to Kaspersky. Yeah,
It's a
copied it
tough
across there.
word,
Told me no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it told me no, can't copy that as well. So those two are definitely working already,
Yeah.
right? AVG. Oh yeah, okay. For some reason, I kept the file on Kaspersky and didn't delete it.
Okay.
On Bitdefender, I did the same thing, copied it across, and the file was also deleted almost immediately. It just didn't allow me to copy.
Sure. So they didn't even pop up as an icon at all.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
It just said no. Then I tried a different method of pasting it. Also, access denied. It's like, no, you can't copy viruses onto your machine. Then I managed to do the same thing on Kaspersky. It copied. It showed the icon. I thought, great, it's gonna work. And then the stupid antivirus popped up with a message to say no.
There's something wrong, yeah.
Yeah, with AVG, I copied the file. It showed the icon. And then I left it there for a bit, popped back to the other machines, did a refresh, tried to execute it, and none of them worked. It picked up as a virus immediately. So this one picked up as the Trojan, said, you're not allowed on this machine, and then deleted it.
Yeah.
And then you'll see that I'm switching between machines over here.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah, so I tried again on Defender, copied it to different method. Yeah, copied it to different method, and same thing popped up with errors or deleted it immediately. Okay, so then I was a bit concerned why it was still sitting on the Kaspersky system, considering it was number one.
Yeah.
So I hit refresh a few times, went through the other machines to make sure that they were all gone. And then I went back to it, and it picks up as a virus, but it stayed on the desktop.
Yeah.
After a couple of refreshes, it eventually deleted it. It wouldn't allow me to execute it. But it allowed me to copy, and it showed the icon, which was weird. I don't quite understand why to do that. You see, so that's the error message that it showed up there. It just doesn't allow me to execute it as well.
Oh, so even though the file was there, it basically wasn't running anything.
Correct, yeah. It said no. And then as soon as I clicked on remediate, I think it said no. And I think at this stage the file was deleted. Oh, I tried to run as administrator, also said no. And you'll see it picks up. There we go. Then it got deleted. On the AVG machine, it was completely different again. I was able to execute the file. It copied. The antivirus didn't pick it up at all. So what I'm doing here is I'm just running a netstat on the machine just to see what open connections there are. Again, you will see AVG makes tons of connections to these servers. So that's all the open connections to their servers that's here. All right. So now I'm going to execute the file, and I'm going to show you exactly what the file does. Well, not exactly what the file does, but I'll show you the connection that it makes to my machine. Okay, so this was what it looked like before I ran the file on this side, and then this is what it's going to look like now. It creates a reverse shell to my machine. So basically, what this specific file does is it sends. I get your machine to connect to me instead of me connecting to your machine. So you execute the file, and the machine connects to my machine, and then I'm able to connect. Yeah. So if you look at this one, you'll see there's more connections on this one. And the one that we're concerned with is the 16.52, which is on port 4444. So that has made a connection back to my machine. My machine, or the evil machine in this case, is 16.50. So yeah, it's connected back to my machine.
So basically, you have full access now.
I have full access to that machine, yes. And that antivirus didn't pick it up at all. Then I did it with Avast as well.
So in a situation like that, would like we're saying, these are basic viruses. When you got access to somebody's machine, you got access to their personal information.
Very much so. I've got full access to the machine.
I can cover photographs and videos.
Exactly. If there's anything on that machine, I've got full access to it.
Wow.
This was the Avast one. I ran the same test on that one, and it seems, for some reason, there seems to be a link between Avast and AVG. Don't know what it is, but yeah, we'll just go with that.
Okay, so the Avast one failed as well. You're able to get in.
Correct, yeah. So I would just avoid those. So just for clarity, Microsoft's default one, right, which comes with Windows, did a better job than the ones that we downloaded. So what Avast does and AVG does is it disables the Microsoft one and enables their one, right? And when it does that, it actually stops the Microsoft Defender from actually working.
Sure.
So that's why it wasn't picked up.
So in the fourth test, or this is the third test?
Yeah, third one.
So in the third test, Mario created yet another virus. So what's different with this one compared to the others, Mario?
Okay, so in this one, what I've done is the method of attack is different. So I'm not copying a file onto the machine at all. Now your machine is live on the internet, and I'm going to attack your machine from the outside, and I'm going to run an exploit against your machine and try and gain access to your machine.
So how do you become like a virus like this now for anyone out there? How are you susceptible to it? Like how do you gain access?
Okay, so if your machine has a live IP address on the internet, and this is just one of those wild things. So let's say you have a public IP address and your machine is live on the internet, and you don't patch your machine, or you don't have you don't patch all those vulnerabilities on your machine, or you run applications which are vulnerable, for example, an FTP server or a web server on your machine, or you're hosting a game, or you're hosting something on your machine and you need a public IP address. I basically exploit that and I gain access to your machine.
Wow.
So for me to do that, so let's say your machine is vulnerable to Eternal Blue, as it was with this whole ransomware attack where Eternal Blue was used to gain access to machines. So what I'm doing is I'm emulating that, and I'm saying, listen, this is me gaining access to your machine, and I want to see if your antivirus is going to stop me from doing anything. This generally won't work against a fully patched machine, unless, of course, I have your username and password, which is also a possibility. So the other way the guys are doing things nowadays is you know those database leaks or database bridges, where the guys leak your username and password to the internet.
To the internet, and it goes out there.
Correct. So there's tons and tons of databases like that. So I'll do a search for Jeff, for your email address, for example. I'll do a search for that, and I'll see what your common passwords are. Then I'll write the script which tries to connect to every single IP address that I have in my list, and says, listen, try and connect with this username and password. And if I get lucky, one of them will allow me in.
Sure.
So then I know that's Jeff's machine. Yum, I'm gonna do that. So
Yeah.
obviously that's a very simple way of looking at it. There's more complicated ways. So
Yeah.
one of the more complicated ways is where they have a list of IP addresses, a list of usernames, list of database names, and they just run it against everything. So it will just continuously try.
All
If
right.
you take your machine, and we can do this in a future episode if you want.
Yeah.
If you take your machine and you give it a public IP address and put it on the internet,
Yeah.
there will be an attempted hack on your machine within the first 5 minutes.
Damn.
Yep.
That's hectic.
If not faster. So yeah, it's always
so there's
fun.
people out there that just do this 24 hours a day.
There's automated programs that are running 24/7 that will just continuously try and hack those IP addresses, or continuously try common vulnerabilities or common exploits against machines to see if they can get access.
So with this third test and this new virus, what did you find now?
Okay, so on this one it was quite interesting. Let me go through the video. So what I did was I tried to connect to the Bitdefender machine. In this case, I had the username and password. I attempted to connect to it. It allowed me to create a connection to the machine, but it didn't create the reverse shell, which was very disappointing. Bitdefender popped up with an error message to say.
Sorry, when you say reverse shell, right? What do you mean?
Yeah. That's when I get your machine to send me a connection.
Oh, so
like we did with the,
it creates a
with
connection, but you can't pull anything off.
No, I can. It creates a connection back to me. So you'll see this one. This one popped up with a error message where it said potential malicious application blocked. And this was the second stage where it's trying to create a reverse shell. So it executes. Yeah, so it executes my script and says, listen, I need to create a connection out. And when it did that, it said, you can't create a connection out. Look, this is also a very common form of attack. But yeah, I thought let me test it anyway just to make sure. So Bitdefender I was pretty happy with. Then I went and tested it on I think it was Kaspersky, I think so. Let's just jump ahead quickly. Oh, okay. So what I did here was I was busy testing different settings to see maybe it was something silly that I was doing, but it wasn't. The antivirus was just blocking me.
You're trying to create that reverse shell, basically.
Correct. Yeah, I was definitely trying very hard to create it reverse shell, and
but it
wouldn't allow me.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So in a case like this, I would generally bypass the system because it's failed the first time, and I would look for something easier. So then I jumped ahead to Kaspersky, did the same thing, had the same result where it just wouldn't allow me. I just want to let the error message pop up so that you can see what it looks like. Okay, so you'll see this, just show you here that there's no connections made, and then I'm going to attempt to create one.
This now is on Microsoft Defender.
Yeah, I think I jumped too far ahead.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's AVG. Okay.
Kaspersky.
Yeah, sorry, I'm jumping way too far ahead.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
I wish I had a fast forward button right now. Okay. Yeah, this was also pretty weird. These antivirus software look like they talk to the host quite a bit. Oh, here we go. So you'll see the file that I created, or the script that I created, which was
services.
I picked it up. Yeah, and it picked it up and said, no, you can't go any further than this. I'm sorry. So it blocked me completely. It just wouldn't allow me to go any further. So another system I would just ignore.
What do these antiviruses do when they connect to their servers? Like, what information is relaying back to make it block something? I don't know.
So what I picked up with Kaspersky and I think it was Bitdefender, when they find a file, it looks like they submit it to the servers for inspection, and then so let's say it picks up a suspicious file called virus.exe. It submits that and checks it, and then says, no, we should not allow this, and then blocks it, and then updates their database and says anybody that's running this file with this signature needs to be blocked. That's at least the way I understand it, and that's why there's so many connections.
Sure.
Yeah, so that was pretty decent of them, and I thought that worked pretty well. Yeah, so I couldn't get onto that one at all. Then I tried AVG. This one was a disappointment of note because I was able to get on without any issues.
So it didn't pick up at all.
No, it didn't block me. It didn't pick up at all. You'll see.
And you were able to create that reverse shell as well.
I was, yes. So this one, you'll see there's the reverse shell created. Yeah, so in this case, my machine was connected on 144.135, and then 140.129, and it's created a reverse shell to my machine. So in other words, I've boned that machine. It's mine. I can do whatever I want with it.
That's crazy, man.
Yep. That's so that's AVG. That was disappointment of note. Then I got super excited because the next one was Microsoft, if I remember correctly. Yes, Microsoft Defender. I got super excited about this one because this is who wants to install antivirus on your machine?
Yeah, most people run it.
Yeah, they leave it as default. So I thought, definitely gonna get in on this one. I ran my script. I got to stage 2 of the script. So there's 2 stages. The first stage, it makes a connection to your machine. And then it tries to execute the script. So it gets to the first stage, no problem, works perfectly fine. Gets to the second stage, and I'm sitting waiting for the reverse shell, and nothing happens. I'm like, what's going on? So this is there's nothing happening on the screen at the moment because I'm looking at my machine now. I'm wondering why these connections are coming, and I'm waiting, and I'm sitting there, and it's just not happening. Normally it takes a while. Slow internet and so on, but it just didn't happen. So then I tried to exploit it again, and nothing's coming up, and I can't figure out why. And I think in this video, let me just jump ahead slightly. I think in this video, but there's no error messages on the machine or anything like that.
So the antivirus doesn't pop up as threat detected, nothing.
It didn't pop up, no. And at this stage, I'm thinking, okay, so maybe I'm doing something wrong. So I try a different method, and you'll see I'm still on Windows Defender or Microsoft Defender, and there's nothing. I'm not picking up anything, and it's weird. Okay, so then I decided, okay, let me just check. Maybe there is a connection. I'm doing something wrong. Nope, no connections, nothing. Don't see anything. It's like, okay, so obviously I'm failing at this. Okay, so then I thought, no, let me see what the heck's going on here. Checking the logs. I want to see. I need to figure this out because I don't understand how I'm not able to make a connection. Then in the logs, it picks up and it says, no, the service is not going to start. So somehow you'll see it's so that's basically my script that's trying to execute and create the service, and for some reason it's just been blocked or it's just been stopped. But nothing pops up, nothing shows. It just Bradley's online. so yeah, nothing pops up. It just doesn't run, and I couldn't figure out why. Okay, that's my activation on the machines on all the test machines. So
if my understanding now, so the file was able to get to the system.
I was able to,
but it didn't allow you to connect.
Correct. That's exactly it. And I wanted to make sure that this was the Windows machine. I wanted to make sure that I was doing it correctly, and it just didn't run. I mean, you can see I'm busy testing if the files enabled, busy testing all these things, trying to figure out what the heck. And it turns out they were just blocking it.
So Windows Defender did the job. It defended the system.
It did the job, yeah. In this case, what I was doing, I was checking, are you sure you can see my machine? What's going on here? There's something not happy. But yeah, it did the job. I was quite amazed. and I think I move on. Yeah. And then immediately afterwards, I decided, no, screw this. I need to move on to something else.
Yeah.
So I moved on to the Vast box. And I thought, okay, let's just test this, because now my ego is damaged, and I want to, you know, I need something that's going to work. So,
yeah.
So I ran it against the Vast box, and it had the exact same results as AVG.
So you're able
I
to
got on,
create a reverse shell and
correct. Yeah. I got on without any issues.
so you're saying like the Avast and AVG, they function in a very similar way, and they're very similar in the way they work.
They seem to be. I would go as far as to say it's most likely the same company.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. And I wouldn't even waste my time. Look, I haven't looked into the two of them, or the two companies, but I would assume they're the same. I mean, yeah, it's
or same
they
type
were
of
both.
developers and stuff.
Yeah, well, if not the same company, just rebranding their software.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
basically.
But yeah, as you can see with this one, I was able to, no problem, reverse shell was created. So obviously I was feeling a lot better about myself now. Then I went for Node 32, which my buddy Lee's running, and I thought, okay, let me just take a look at this for him.
So this Node 32 is also free, right? A free antivirus.
It's also free, yeah. You get the free version and the paid version. We can most probably take a look at the paid versions at some other stage.
Yeah.
Just to see what the differences are. But yeah.
So what did you find on the Node 32?
I'm actually not sure. I'm gonna be up. Well, there you go. It's picked it up as a virus immediately. Yeah. So this one popped up and said no.
No, thank you. We will not allow this. You shall not pass.
That's great. So I was happy with Node 32 in this case.
Okay.
Yeah. So this worked. So out of the 6 that we tested, I think it was 6. Not the AVG and Avast were just completely useless, and I would rather stick with the Microsoft one than install those.
Okay.
Yep.
So Mario did one last test, and in this last test, he created a special virus for his friend Lee to test on the Node antivirus. So you run us through what happens. What were the results?
Okay, so yes, it's a special one for Lee. As you remember in the last video, I was able Node 32 blocked it, popped up with the error message and said no, you can't pass.
You can't.
So what I decided was I'm gonna create a custom one, and I'm going to get access to this machine. Well, that was my determination, because I wanted to prove to Lee that, listen, Node 32 might be great, but I can still get past it at some stage. So what I did was I decided to use the same method that I used in the last video. Assuming that I gained access to his network, I had access to his password.
His username and his password,
His username and password, So now I'm going to create a reverse shell on his machine. So I booted up my machine, created this pretty decent file or exploit, or not exploit, sorry, reverse shell, which I thought was nice and encrypted and would have been decent. And I was able to gain access to his machine. That's the short of it. So he's with AVG installed. I was still able to create not AVG, with Node 32 installed. I was still able to create the reverse shell. So even though the common stuff was blocked, if you are able to create something that's a little less common, it can bypass.
This virus that you created, like, does it take a lot of work to do, or like, can anybody do this?
Look, anybody can do this. It was still a common generated virus.
Sure.
It took me a little longer, maybe 5 minutes more, to generate. But I was still able to generate it, and I'm pretty sure if I show you, you'll be able to generate it as well.
Wow. So let's just go wrap this up, and we'll go back to this article, right? So. In our findings here, right, with reference to obviously this Tom's guide, what is the best virus out there if you're going for a free antivirus? Which is the one you should go for?
Look, I'm gonna go with the number 1 and number 2, definitely, because it seems
clearly,
correct. The editor's choice and Bitdefender. It's definitely worth looking at. I was impressed with it that it stopped it before I could even go in there. But then, at the same in the same breath, why don't I just go with Microsoft or Windows Defender?
Which is
Because
on the system.
exactly, it comes with the system. It did exactly the same thing as the other two.
Yeah.
So I don't quite understand why I would waste my time with those. They seem to be playing catch up and seem to be doing a good job. Yes, he's rated it as very good. What is he rated as? Totally worth it. Okay, yeah. So I mean, yeah, between those three, I would definitely. In fact, that is the top three, right? Yeah. So the top three.
Yeah. And
well, no, hold on, sorry. No, Avast. I don't even know why they put this here. This was a waste of time. Yeah,
so
sorry.
the Avast and the AVG, you're able to gain access with low tier.
Yeah.
Basically.
Exactly. Yeah. They maybe they're good at stopping viruses. No.
Yeah.
No, because it's basically a virus that I uploaded. So no, I wouldn't waste my time.
So
with
the Windows, from if I remember now when we were doing this review, the Windows Defender at one point. Oh, sorry, not the Windows Defender.
Windows Defender. Yeah.
You were able to get the virus onto the system using one of the other techniques, but it didn't pick up anything. But it still just didn't allow it to run. Am I correct?
Correct, yeah. So yeah,
it's
as soon as that's correct. So as soon as I tried to execute it, it said no. It's not happening. It didn't pop up with a message, which was a little irritating because now it meant I had to do extra work to figure out what was wrong. But it wouldn't allow me to get a reverse shell at all.
So this, for everyone out there that's watching this video, if you still here towards the end of the video, you know, we are very susceptible to getting hacked. And I mean, Mario was able to gain full access into somebody's PC. As he has mentioned, username and passwords does not mean your system is safe. There are databases out there that store people's IP address, usernames, or passwords, which he can easily access. And he can create a virus very quickly that will gain access to things on your computer like banking details, personal photos, your personal information, and you become susceptible out there if you're online. And everybody is online these days. And I think it's a very important thing that you've shown us today, Mario, like, you know, how vulnerable we actually are, which is something we don't think about. We think, okay, we've got AVG, we got Avast, we got an antivirus on our computer, and we are safe, but we're not, right?
Yeah, correct. Look, these other methods where I'm able to connect to the machine, remove the antivirus if I really want to, and continue doing what I wanted to do.
I'm sure we'll cover that in future episodes. But yeah, we're looking forward to doing more episodes with Mario. And what do you think we're going to have in store for us next, Mario?
Yeah, I think next week we can take a look at, maybe we should take a look at the paid antivirus software as well.
And see how vulnerable
see how far we can get on those. Because a lot of companies are running the paid versions.
Yeah. All right, so let's look at that. Maybe see, is your business really safe? You paid money for a virus. Can we gain access? But we'll take a look at it. Thanks for viewing this episode. Thank you, Mario, once again for doing all this work and showing us our weaknesses. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Bye.
Cool.